It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I want to thank each one of our listeners today that have tuned in live and the ones that will be listening to the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each one of you. And I am excited today to have back with me one of my returning divas, Lorie Murphey. She has been gone for a couple months, so we have lots to catch up on with updates from Sugar Ditch Stables. So, Lorie, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Hi, Joyce. Thanks for having me again. I'm Lorie MurpheyI, and I'm the owner of Sugar Ditch Stables, where kids can come out and be kids and play with horses and just simply have fun with the animals.
Oh, wow. Oh, what a great place to be, just to have fun with the animals. I love that. and you have also done a lot of groundwork there, too, for others that want to do other kind of things at Sugar Ditch Stables other than just spending time with the animals. And refresh our listeners a little bit on some of the things that have taken place over there to give children other places to hang out at when they come to your farm.
Well, we created a huge, probably about an acre-sized playground and just a fun area for them to run and play and be safe. And then we have our garden section, which right now it's, kind of resting right now because of winter, but we have a huge garden area. So if of course, not everybody is as crazy as it sounds is, comfortable around horses, but that's okay, because it can be intimidating. So we have different areas. We have, like I said, the garden, and they can go out and harvest and plant and weed the garden. And then, of course, the play area. My favorite part is the horses, but so we have a lot going on for the kids in all areas.
Oh, that is awesome. That just gives our listeners a little bit of an idea of some options that are there at Sugar Ditch Stables. That is incredible. Oh, I love it. That sounds like a lot of things, a lot of activities that kids can participate in a lot of different ways. And that's what's neat. So, well, what else are some of the updates that have been happening in your life, Lorie, at Sugar Ditch Stables?
Well, I'm kind of sad to announce that everybody pretty much knows I was taking care of my dad for 3 years, and he passed in October, and it was incredibly a hard job to take care of an elderly parent, and he was diagnosed with dementia. And I just wanted to tell all your listeners, if anybody is in that situation taking care of an elderly parent and need somebody to talk to, please email me, because it is a hard job to do, and sometimes you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes, as if anybody is taking care of their parents, they will know that it's overwhelming, and it's hard to watch your parents decline. So they can reach me by my email. Give me your phone number, and I will be happy to lend an ear and just be there if they need somebody to talk to about what's going on and that type of thing. My email is, you can reach me at sugarditchstables@yahoo.com. I check it every day. So I just wanted to send that out.
Well, we're very sorry to hear about your father. I had heard that through speaking with you, but coming from all of us divas, we're very sorry to hear about that. And that is really awesome of you to offer out to help others that could possibly be going through something like this. It's hard to change the role of the parents have always been the ones that take care of the kids, and then when we have to step in and take care of the parents, that's a whole different role. It's a hard one to take sometimes.
It really is, and it was. There was times I'm going, I would never do this again. Thankfully we only have two parents. After he passed, I wouldn't have changed a thing. I mean, I would have stepped up and do it again, So there's times that you get really frustrated and angry, and not at him, but just at the situation. You just you pray a lot, and it's a challenge, that's for sure. But I'm so thankful and grateful that I did it. And so, I know he is such a peace right now. So, that helps a lot.
Yes, that helps a lot. Well, like you said, you dealt with a lot of different emotions going through it. I'm sure some days you were up and some days you're down. So that's very good to share with our listeners, to know that you can't always be riding on top of the world when you're doing some things like that, because there's a lot of hard moments that happen in that. But also, the rewarding feeling, especially like even now, knowing that you gave him that care during his troubled times in his life when he had challenges with his health.
Yeah, it was definitely my absolute pleasure to have been able to do that for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that shows what kind of person you are, Lorie. Definitely. Well, I have to think with animals are my life. So, and with you having all the animals in your life and the horses, and I know you have dogs, and how would you say the animals have come in? Have come in and helped you through even the difficult times when you were taking care of them and you were stressing out, and even now when he has passed? How would you explain to our listeners how the animals have come in and helped you deal with different emotions like this?
Well, I find myself sitting down there, and they're just around me where I'm sitting, and they listen really, really good, and they don't even really, they don't talk back too much. So my thoughts and opinions are always correct because they just look at me. But I find it, I've noticed that I sit down there at sunset when I feed dinner for them, very peaceful. They bring a lot of peace and comfort, even just standing there. I sit right next to Texas's stall, and he sticks his head out there waiting for me to feed him, of course, and listening. So the peace that they bring is remarkable. I can't really explain it unless people that have horses or animals and pets, they know, words are kind of hard to find for, how comforting the horses are to me. But if people have horses that have been around them, they know, they're just big, peaceful, silly animals. I have a bunch of them, and every one of them has a different, they bring something different to me in any mood I'm in, actually. So, and then, I think I might have mentioned in a previous show that they can read me really good. If I'm cranky, they're like, yeah, I'm not even going to go around her right now. They just stay out. Yeah, I'll wait till she goes. But then, when I'm cheerful and comfortable and at peace, they're right there. And it's amazing that they are such majestic, peaceful creatures.
Yes. Oh, I agree. And like you said, when they can feel your energy that's coming off of you and what kind of mood you're in before you ever get to them, and they're going to respond in that way. And they knew when you were needing comforting and peace that they were right there to give it. And I'm sure they're like mine. They're very quiet during that time. It's just amazing how horses, like you said, they are such a majestic animal that they can pick up on those feelings and that energy that you're giving off long before you ever get to them. They know what you're thinking and feeling.
They sure do.
And then the different ways that they respond. And like you said, each horse responds a little differently, and I always say they each have their own unique personality. They're just like people. No two are alike.
Oh, that is so true. They are. Every single one of them has their own little quirks and their habits and their mannerisms, and you know, I have a bunch of comical horses, and they're just silly, and I think that's what I attract, because it's kind of like I am. So we have a moody one here or there, but usually, for the most part, they're all silly.
Yeah, they're all there to lighten up people's emotions and feelings. They want a positive energy, is what they're wanting to give off to other people to help them through the troubled times.
Yes, for sure.
And I've always been told horses have a heart 5 times bigger than they are, or 5 times bigger than ours. I often say a lot of my horses have hearts 5 times bigger than they are, but they're 5 times bigger than ours. And I see that all the time in my 3 horses, and I'm sure you have really seen that in everything you've gone through over the last 3 years with your dad's health.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, I have something exciting to talk about. I have a student that came to Sugar Ditch Stables, and her parents were going through a divorce, and her doctor said that she needed her best friend and horses in her life, and so to keep her coming out to the ranch. And her best friend just moved across the United States, and I have decided to get her a horse. So I have put out, you know, I need a certain type of horse for a certain type of rider that, you know, healthy, that's going to, you know, that she can have of her very own. And it was kind of sweet, because I told her grandmother and her mom, oh, by the way, I'm getting her a horse. So just so you know, she's going to have one. And she'll keep, of course, it'll be at the ranch because they live in a residential area. But so
right.
I'm looking for the most amazing horse to give this little girl, so that she has that deep friendship, because as you know, your first horse is, there's something special about your very first horse. And so that was exciting and uplifting for me to it just came on my heart one day. I go, I need to get her a horse, just so she can have her own horse. And I told him it you know, she's going to have to come out and work a couple days a month, and it's going to be her responsibility to take care of her horse and stuff. So that'll be really neat. And I'll put that up on our website too when I find I have fillers out there looking for the perfect horse, which isn't hard because there's so many of them, but one that'll be a really good best friend to this young girl.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, how special. Oh, that touches my heart, because that is just shows what kind of heart you have, that you want to give back like that to a girl that's in need, and you know what horses have done in your life, and now you want to pay it back to another girl to be able to experience it, to have her own horse like that. Oh, Lorie, what an incredible story. I love that. You are definitely going to keep us posted on where you find it, what kind of horse it is, and how you'll have to do a video of how she reacts the first time she sees it.
Oh, for sure. I'm super excited. And like I said, I have people looking, you know, because you can find horses, but I need it to be a special horse, you know, a special, well-behaved, healthy, you know. And so I have a few people looking for it, and she has no idea, absolutely no idea. I got a Christmas card from them yesterday that said, "Thank you for teaching me all about horses." So it's going to be incredible, and I'm hopeful that it can be right around Christmas time. So hopefully. If not, I'm definitely going to record all of it. I'd love to share it on our website, and it'll be pretty exciting, because I remember what it was like when that, you know, we didn't have cameras on our phones, or we didn't have cell phones, so the moment didn't get recorded. But I still remember the pure excitement. I went out to the ranch that on Christmas Day, and I didn't even think about interrupting their Christmas. I was just, you know, my horses boarded at their place. So, we went out on Christmas Day. Oh, it was so fun. So I have a there's going to be lots of tears of joy. I know that for sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, wow. Oh, that is just incredible. What an awesome story. Oh my goodness, Lorie. I am excited. I'm excited to keep up to date on this, and that horse that you're looking for, that horse is looking for that girl too, is how I feel. I feel they're both looking for each other, and the energies will bring them together. And you will know when you see that horse. Yeah. Yep. It will definitely happen. Oh my goodness! Oh, it gave me the chills because I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear how it goes. I just love that. That is just incredible. And you're going to give a horse a loving girl that needs that horse's companionship as bad as the horse needs her, and that's what's so neat. Oh my! There was a little girl, and I shared this on another one of my interviews about I rehomed a horse here. They got it. It was about a year ago in the summertime, and the little girl had always wanted a horse so bad. And this horse, you could just tell they matched up, and she had the greatest time with him. But then, as winter was going to come on, she decided that was a lot of work to have to take care of it every day because it was at her house, and her dad had told her it's your responsibility. So they called me and said it's time for the horse to move on because she feels that she has received what she needed to in the time in her life. And then I said, okay, I'm taking him back, and I rehomed him immediately to a really good friend of mine where I get to see him all the time. So yes, the horse knew, and we've asked the horse, and he says, well, I miss the little girl because I really did like her. And you could tell they bonded.
Oh,
but just kind of a little story to go right along with that of how much child and a horse can bond together like that. It's just incredible. I love it. Oh my word, that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story to continue on, Lorie. Well,
yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, I bet you are. I bet you are just thrilled to death. And like I said, you'll find it, and you'll know when you see that horse that's the one. That's the one I got to have. Well, you had a horse that had gotten hurt in the barn, in an incident at the barn. How is that horse doing? The one that it was her head?
Yes, that's Roxy. She is hanging in there, believe it or not. They believe she, and I don't know the technical name of the bone on right above her ear. They believe that she smacked her head from being startled because we have the metal windows, at the front of the stables that each of them have, that they put their head out, and they think that she hit her head. Well, it caused a paralysis on her left side. She can't move her ear. She can no longer see out of her eye, and she's still kind of droopy, almost like if she had a stroke. And, I was like, can horses have strokes? But this was from the nerve damage from the bone. And so she is, she's doing relatively well, actually. I did notice that she's not putting on her winter weight as well. So I have to, keep an eye on that because it takes her a little longer to eat. And I break up all of her hay and stuff. So she's not holding her weight as good as she did before the injury, but besides that, she's doing really well. I don't think that she can hear out of that ear because she startles easily on that side. It might be the vision, but it's, you can tell that the other ear is looking to, for my voice. But besides that, she is upright. I told her, you can live or die. This is your choice right here. And so she chose life. So I'm really thrilled about that. And she's holding her own. So we're super excited about that and happy and relieved. It was a scary time because it literally just happened overnight. We had no idea. They ran tons of tests on her and could not find anything. And so they said, I think I mentioned before that when she was eating, you could hear, it almost sounded like a frog in her ear. And we discovered this, and this is kind of hard to listen, but it sounded like bones rubbing together. And that's how we discovered what, that had happened. So, thankfully she's, it's been months now. So she seems happy and, just
good
herself. So yeah, we're very, very blessed with that, and that she's hanging in there.
Oh, that's fantastic news. Doing the updates, I thought, I need to ask about her. I couldn't quite remember her name, but now she said Roxy. I'm like, yep, that's it. Oh, I'm so thankful that she is doing as well as she is. That is great. And it goes back to the love and care you're giving her, because she felt she had a purpose, and the universe felt she did too. So, and prayers, there were lots of prayers, I'm sure, going up for her. And she's getting along as good as she can and making adjustments, because they do make adjustments when things happen like that. Oh, wow. That's incredible. That's really good news to hear. I'm glad to hear. She will just happily live out her life right there at the stables and enjoy every moment of it.
Yeah, she sure will.
Oh, that's really neat. I know my mare had pulled a ligament in her knee this spring or into the early summer, and here just in the last week she started running again and kicking and bucking, and oh my word, was it a good feeling to see. I just gave her off. I said, "You've got off till spring, girl. You just heal." And she's doing great, and it's such a good feeling to see. It's just amazing how when you show them the love and they need, how their bodies like that can come back together. And until then, she had just she always was very playful with the two other geldings with her, and she just kind of hung back and just kind of took her time, and she knew when she was ready to run and kick again and to enjoy life. And I brought tears to my eyes. I said, "Oh my goodness, girl, you have no idea how good this feels to see you doing that."
It's such a relief, isn't it? It's just amazing. Wow. Amazing when they pull through or they get better, and it's just like, okay, hold your breath there for a little while. With Roxy, I didn't breathe. I didn't take a deep breath for, a good month or so, but she's holding her own. The only thing that we are having a little bit of a problem with is the farrier, because she's blind in that eye. She's very skittish on that side. So instead of getting her worked up and the farrier hurt, I say, let's just give her a little bit more time before her feet are still fine. I mean, so let's give her some more time. I don't want at first I don't want, her scared and upset or the farrier getting hurt, like I said, but, so that's the only thing that, with the injury that has, kind of a curveball, we're kind of trying to work around the hoof trim. And so we'll have to just play that one by ear, but her feet are fine as far as I'm concerned. We're not riding her or anything, so she'll be all right.
Oh, yes. I understand completely, because we did the same thing. My mare skipped a time when the farrier was coming, because she was hurting. And I said, nope, we're not going to stress her. We're just not going to do it. She'll be fine. And like you said, we're not riding them, so she's fine. And she did. So it worked out really good. Yeah, you just you have to know their feelings too. And I said, well, I wouldn't want somebody messing with me if I had a pulled ligament in my leg and trying to pick it up and do this and that. So I said, we're not going to do it to her either.
Exactly. Exactly. It's funny how, of course, people put ourselves in their position or their situation. Go, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. I wouldn't want to.
We're going to have it. Or we have that. No, you're going to have to do this. There's some good and some bad. No, you got to do it today. So.
Yeah. How true it is. You've connected with Roxy, and Roxy knows it, and we connect with our horses, and we know how to our ability to best try to take care of them like that. Oh, that is great. Well, that was really great news that she's doing so much better.
With the horses, you don't realize how much they trust you until something happens to them. If they don't feel good, or if, like my horse Tank, he's ornery. He snorts at you, and he's just, he's just him. That's just him. I knew going in what he was. But when he doesn't feel good, he's like a lap puppy. And they have, then you see their trust for you when all of this is going, when different things are happening, you can tell they just become just this little tiny, help me out here, and they know. I mean, they'll come and just put their head on you and just, they're asking you to help them. They're, unsure of the situation or something. So it's amazing on how they show their trust when something doesn't feel good to them, or if they're uncomfortable, or so it's amazing on how you wouldn't know it all the time every day when you're dealing with them and working with them. But the minute they don't feel good or something, they're like, help me, please. These big, strong animals depend on us so much when we have them. So, it's nice.
They're just, as you said earlier, they're just magnificent. They just are. I couldn't imagine my life without them. They're a very crucial part of my life. Very important in my life.
Oh, me too.
Well, Lorie, this has been so much fun catching up with you on the updates that have been happening. And like I said, all of us divas are sorry to hear of the loss of your dad. But the way you're talking, you are totally recovering. You're looking at the good, positive points, and that's what's awesome. You pull the positive away from the negative and right above it, like you right off with it, and that's incredible, Lorie. I love that in you. That's awesome. So, you are so welcome. What would be a final tip that you would like to leave with our listeners today?
I think the final tip would be based on, the loss of my dad and taking care of him, is if you are helping an elderly parent or a sickly parent to get help, if you feel like you're overwhelmed, find somebody to talk to. It is a challenge, and some days you think you're just plain crazy, but just find somebody and ask them for help. I am more than happy and more than willing to, like I said, to help where needed, because I'm a helper. So, again, my email address is sugarditchstables@yahoo.com. Feel free, or you can go to sugarditchstables.com. I'm happy to help. But my advice would be, or my tip would be to, there's people to help, and when you feel it, that you need it, just you're not alone.
Right. Oh, what a beautiful tip. Just reach out, and someone's arm will be there to help you. Oh, that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I love it, Lorie. Thank you so much for being my guest, and thank you for all the great information you shared. It was another incredible time chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
And thank you very much. And I want to thank all of our listeners for listening to this amazing interview with another amazing diva, Lorie Murphy. And she will be back in the new year in January to share more information with you. Please share this show with your family and friends. Be sure to check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Remember, have a fantastic day, be kind to all, and reach out when you need that help to someone. And we will post Lorie's information below this interview, so if you'd like to reach out to her, it will be there. And please give your animals that great big extra hug. Share all your love with them. And until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.